Everyone, and welcome to this meeting of the Washington County Board of Education. I call this meeting to order and declare a quorum. We have all board members present this evening, and I would like to welcome to the dais Dr. Gary Willow, Associate Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction, who's sitting in for Superintendent Sovine this evening, and also Graham Snyder, who is our student member, and this is his first meeting for his term. So, welcome. Thank you. Would you please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll begin with approval of this evening's agenda. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Thank you, Mr. Bickford. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Zemmeyer. Any discussion? All those in favor of the approval of the agenda? Okay, we have unanimous approval, and the student member concurs. We'll move to approval of minutes.
Mrs. Williams, I move for the approval of the closed session minutes dated June 20th, Tuesday, June 20th, 2023.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Zemmeyer. Okay, the motion and second is on the closed session minutes dated June 20th, 2023. All those in favor? All right, abstaining?
Yes.
So we have 6 affirmative, 1 abstention.
Mrs. Williams, I have a second motion, approval of the business meeting minutes dated Tuesday, June 20th, 2023.
Thank you, Mr. Gessford. We have a motion and a second. Is there
Second.
any- Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Zemmeyer. Are there any additions or corrections? All right, then we'll move to the vote. We're voting to approve the business meeting minutes of June 20th, 2023. All those in favor? Abstaining? All right, so we have 6 affirmative, 1 abstention. Thank you. Next, we'll have our superintendent's report. Dr. Willow.
Good evening, President Williams. I'm excited to begin the superintendent's report this evening by honoring some of our newest teachers and their mentors. The Maryland Accelerates program, we're in our first year of completion, and I'm proud to share that it was a very successful year. As Dr. Sovine has mentioned before, we are facing a teacher shortage, and the Maryland Accelerates program is a non-traditional way of becoming a teacher. Many of our candidates went to school for other majors and decided to go back and become teachers. So this 13-month program is really the start of our own Grow Your Own program. So this evening, I'll ask Joni Burkhart, Supervisor of Professional Learning, and Tim Haynes, Coordinator of Talent Acquisition and Development, to come forward.
So good evening, President Williams, members of the board, and Dr. Willow. The Maryland Accelerates program provided aspiring teachers the opportunity to earn an accelerated Master of Arts in Teaching degree, along with an innovative year-long teacher residency in partnership with Frostburg State University. All scholarship recipients completed an accelerated 13-month program, worked with an experienced Washington County public school teacher, and were hired to teach for the 2023-24 school year in Washington County. We would like to honor the dedication and commitment of both the resident and the mentor in achieving graduation and in earning a job in Washington County Public Schools. As we call your name, please come to the dais to receive your certificate. We would like to recognize Claire Bodine, who worked with Nicole Rhodes at Lincolnshire Elementary School. Claire has accepted a grade 4 position at Eastern Elementary.
You went the whole way down because we're taking a picture.
Jared Breakall, who worked with Christy Franklin at Pangbourne Elementary School. Jared has accepted a grade 5 position at Morgansville Elementary.
Thank you.
Shannon Halleck, who worked with Aaron Orth at Fountaindale Elementary School. Shannon has accepted a grade 1 position at Pleasant Valley Elementary School.
Thank you. Thanks for mentioning.
Alexis Pate, who worked with Lisa Gaynor at Williamsport High School. Alexis has accepted an earth science position at Williamsport High School.
Thank you so much.
John Proctor, who worked with Clint Bond at Williamsport High School. John has accepted an English Language Arts position at North Hagerstown High School.
Levon Campbell, who worked with Adrian Tu at Bester Elementary School. Levon has accepted a grade 2 position at Ruth Ann Monroe Primary School.
Nice.
Shamira McCoy, who worked with Brianna Calkins at North Hagerstown High School. Shamira has accepted a science position at Northern Middle School.
We do have several interns and mentors that could not be here tonight. First off was Jennifer Barnes, who worked with Kelly Matthews at Lincolnshire Elementary School. Jennifer has accepted a grade 1 position at Bester Elementary. Nikki Ingram Orosini worked with Susan Day at Eastern Elementary. Nikki has accepted a grade 5 position at Salem Avenue. Gabrielle Thompson worked with Brian Kelly at Jonathan Hager Elementary School. Gabby has accepted a rise position at Lincolnshire Elementary. Liam Von Alt worked with Tom Pacey Funk at North Hagerstown High School. Liam has accepted a technology education position at Springfield Middle School. Delphine Call, who worked with Elizabeth Lewis at North Hagerstown High School. Dell has accepted an English Language Arts position at Western Heights Middle School. And finally, Tori Phelps, who worked with Ellie Ball at Jonathan Hager Elementary School. Tori has accepted an elementary position with Washington County Public Schools. It's one of the contingency positions. She'll be assigned as soon as we know that opening. That's our mentors and our interns, and we would like to say congratulations to everyone and welcome to the WCPS community.
Just stay there for pictures.
It's a lot, Graham.
Well,
Team effort. Team effort.
You're squeezing me.
Oh, here, I'll put this, don't worry. I gotta get in between. Wow, no edits? Yeah, no edits.
There you go. All right, good smoke here in 3, 1, 2, 3. And another one, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna take one here. And 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
here, excuse me, Dr. Willow, before you begin again with your report, I'd just like to say to these fine people, thank you for being pioneers in this exciting program. Teachers, I wish you success, and I hope you find your new chosen profession a fulfilling one. And I know you are set for success by having such very capable mentors. So thank you for choosing Washington County Public Schools.
And I might add, thank you to the mentors that are back there that I see many are still here. This program would not have been possible without your support. We know the challenges sometimes of taking someone that's new to teaching for a full year, but you did it, and you did it well. So thank you to our mentors and also to the human resources and the professional learning offices for making this a reality. Thanks. All right, next I'm going to invite Mr. Prue, our Chief Operating Officer, to come forward. He will share more details about an award from the U.S. Department of Agriculture in our region. This is to celebrate our food and nutrition services staff for their extraordinary efforts with our summer meals program. Mr. Prue?
Thank you, Dr. Willow. Good evening, board members. I'm thrilled, actually, as you know, with my background coming within our Food and Nutrition Services Department, I'm thrilled to share with you that our Food and Nutrition Service Department was nominated for and recognized as the 2022 Summer Programs Meal Champion from the Mid-Atlantic Region Office of the United States Department of Agriculture for their amazing work in our summer programs. I know we talk about it on a fairly regular basis, but we operate 14 meal sites, open meal sites, some in the city, some outside. This year we've got a new site operating in Williamsport. We're out in Hancock. We're at various housing centers or church parking lots or wherever we can get someone to entertain, that we're going to come in an area where we know students are in need of additional meals through the summer, the meals they don't get when summer is out and school is not in session. On top of that, we service all of the summer school meal sites in our schools, as well as Boys and Girls Club sites, Girls Inc., YMCA, Park and Rec. So the team is busy. Most of the staff that works through the school year comes back and works again throughout the summer as well, at least 50%. So it's a real honor for me to make this announcement to you, and I know Mr. Embley is here tonight to be recognized with that award. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mike.
No peachy fudge?
You have those glasses hanging on my nose.
All right, good smiles here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One last one, promise. 1, 2.
Good job, Mike.
Thank you.
President Williams, that'll conclude the first part of my report for this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Willow. This is the portion of the meeting where we have public comment. We have no one who has signed up in advance for public comment. Is there anyone who would like to come forward to speak? Okay, thank you. We have no old business this evening, so we'll go right to new business. Our first item of new business is this evening's consent agenda. We have Mr. Scott Bachel, who is here to present. Good evening.
Good evening, President Williams, members of the board, and Dr. Willow. Tonight I have 6 items for your review. These items were reviewed by our Purchasing Review Committee and are being recommended for approval, and staff is available if you have any additional questions.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Madam President, I move to approve the awards, renewals, and purchases for M-Class Dibbles Assessment System renewal to Amplify Education, Inc. at a cost of $76,884. WCPS logo uniforms and apparel to BJ's Custom Creations and Super Shoe Stores, Inc. at the unit prices listed. Zonar GPS system renewal to Zonar Systems, Inc. at a cost of $62,893.08. Microsoft licenses renewals to Bell Technologics at a cost of $415,535.20. Network switches and wireless access points to Skyline Technology LLC at a cost of $869,893. And professional design services, Springfield Middle School classroom modification to Bushy Fight Moore and Architects at a cost of $73,633.
Thank you, Mr. Bickford. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Murray. Any discussion, any questions? All right, then we'll move right to the vote. We're voting to approve the awards, renewals, and purchases as read by Mr. Bickford. All those in favor? All right, we have a unanimous vote, and the student member concurs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcoming to the table Mrs. Baker. Mrs. Baker?
Good evening, Mrs. Williams and members of the board. Staff is asking for your approval of a negotiated agreement between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Educational Support Personnel for the negotiated agreement dated July 1st, 2023 through June 20th, 2027, and wages effective July 1, 2023.
Thank you, Mrs. Baker. Is there a motion?
President Williams.
I move to approve the negotiated agreement between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Educational Support Personnel for the negotiated agreement dated July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2027, and the wages effective July 1st, 2023.
Thank you, Mrs. Murray. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, Dr. Zentmeyer. Any questions? All right, we'll move to the vote. We're voting to approve the negotiated agreement between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Educational Support Personnel for the negotiated agreement dated July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2027, and the wages effective July 1st, 2023. All those in favor? All right, we have a unanimous vote. Motion carries. Mrs. Baker, you have some more for us?
I sure do. Staff is asking for your approval of a memorandum of understanding between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Educational Support Personnel regarding the maintenance license differential.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Madam President, move to approve the memorandum of understanding between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Educational Support Personnel regarding the maintenance licensing differential.
Thank you, Mrs. Stauffer. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Zentmeyer. Any questions? All right, we're voting on Mr. Stauffer's motion, Dr. Zentmeyer's second, to approve the MOU between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Educational Support Personnel regarding maintenance licensing differential. All those in favor? All right, we have a unanimous vote. Motion carries.
Thank you. Staff is asking for your approval of a memorandum of understanding between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Educational Support Personnel regarding paraprofessionals covering classes.
Thank you, Mrs. Baker. Is there a motion?
Madam President, move to approve the memorandum of understanding between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Educational Support Personnel regarding paraprofessionals covering classes.
Thank you, Mrs. Stauffer. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Zentmeyer. Any questions? Okay, we'll move to the vote. We're voting to approve the memo of understanding between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Educational Support Personnel Group regarding paraprofessionals covering classes. All those in favor? All right, we have a unanimous vote.
Thank you. Staff is asking for your approval of a memorandum of understanding between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Educational Support Personnel regarding bus driver compensation.
Thank you, Mrs. Baker. Is there a motion?
President Williams, I move to approve the memorandum of understanding between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Educational Support Personnel regarding bus driver compensation.
Thank you, Mrs. Murray. Is there a second? Thank you, Dr. Zentmeyer. Any questions? All right, we're voting to approve the memo of understanding between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Educational Support Personnel regarding bus driver compensation. All those in favor? All right, we have a unanimous vote. Motion carries.
And that ends our MOUs for our ESP, and we want to thank them for their collaboration and partnership and teamwork getting through a whole contract this year. So we're very thankful for them, and we thank their board and their executive committee, and it was a good negotiation season for them. So.
It was. Thank you.
And we'll move on to the teacher MOUs, and I have Carol Mallon with me, the new president of Washington County Teachers Association. Hi, Carol. So we have two, not quite as many as the first series, but the first one is staff is asking for your approval of a negotiated agreement between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Teachers Association for the negotiated agreement dated July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2025, and wages effective July 1, 2023.
Thank you, Mrs. Baker. Is there a motion?
Madam President, move to approve the negotiated agreement between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Teachers Association for the negotiated agreement dated July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2025, and the wages effective July 1st, 2023.
Thank you, Mr. Stalver. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Zentmeyer. Any questions? All right, we'll move to the vote. We're voting to approve the negotiated agreement between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Teachers Association for the negotiated agreement dated July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2025, and the wages effective July 1st, 2023. All those in favor? All right, we have a unanimous vote. Motion carries.
One more MOU. Staff is asking for your approval of a memorandum of understanding between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Teachers Association regarding an additional one-time sick leave benefit.
Thank you, Mrs. Baker. Is there a motion?
Madam President, move to approve the memorandum of understanding between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Teachers Association regarding an additional one-time sick leave benefit.
Thank you, Mr. Stauffer. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Zentmeyer. Any questions? All right, we'll move to the vote. We're voting to approve the memo of understanding between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Teachers Association regarding an additional one-time sick leave benefit. All those in favor? All right, we have a unanimous vote. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this great work with our negotiations team. As a member of the negotiations committee, I can tell you it's a long haul every year, but I think it's a good collaborative effort, and I think it's getting better each year. So we look forward to our continuing collaboration. We also hope that we'll be able to see a fully funded budget in the future. We will continue to seek additional funding through the county to increase our salaries to help us reach that competitive milestone that we all hope to be. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Baker. So, colleagues, we are down to agenda item number 8, the first reading of proposed changes to policy JLF, reporting of suspected child abuse and/or child neglect, child sexual abuse prevention, instruction, and training, and the Employee Code of Conduct. And we have Mrs. Graham here at the table presenting. Mrs.
Thank
Graham?
you. Good evening, President Williams, members of the board, Associate Superintendent Willow. The Policy Committee reviewed policy JLF at its public work session on June 29, 2023. Staff recommended changes to the definitions and Employee Code of Conduct sections of the policy due to changes in the state law, which the committee concurred with. The committee offered a few additional minor changes to the policy as well. The committee is now recommending that the Board of Education approve the first reading of proposed changes to policy JLF.
Madam President, I move to approve the first reading of proposed changes to policy JLF entitled Reporting of Suspected Child Abuse and/or Child Neglect, Child Sexual Abuse Prevention, Instruction and Training, and the Employee Code of Conduct.
Thank you, Mr. Bixley. Is there a second?
Second?
Any questions, any discussion? No? Okay, we'll move to the vote. We're voting to approve the first reading of proposed changes to policy JLF entitled Reporting of Suspected Child Abuse and/or Child Neglect, Child Sexual Abuse Prevention, Instruction and Training, and the Employee Code of Conduct. All those in favor of approval? All right, we have a unanimous vote and the student member concurs. Motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Ram.
The Policy Committee reviewed Policy BD at its public work session on June 29, 2023, and is recommending that the Board of Education approve the first reading of the committee's proposed changes to that policy. The first change to note that the committee is recommending is that the Board of Education remove language that states business meetings occur generally twice each month. State law does not set forth a required number of business meetings per month that the Board of Education must conduct. In fact, there are months, typically July and December, when the Board of Education only meets once a month. The recommended change would more easily allow the Board of Education to conduct only one business meeting per month if it so desires. Another change to note that the committee is recommending concerns closed sessions. The Open Meetings Act permits the Board of Education to discuss matters involving public security in closed sessions. The committee is recommending that the list of topics the Board of Education shall discuss in closed session include safety and security, which is currently being done.
Thank you, Mrs. Ram. Is there a motion?
Madam President, I move to approve the proposed changes to policy BD entitled Types and Notification of Meetings.
Thank you, Mr. Bixley. Is there a second?
Second?
Thank you, Mrs. Murray. Any questions, any discussion? Okay, we'll move to the vote. We're voting to approve proposed changes to policy BD entitled Types and Notification of Meetings. All those in favor? All right, we have a unanimous vote. Student member concurs. Motion carries. Mrs. Ann?
The last policy before you tonight is the policy BD. The committee reviewed at its public work session on June 29, 2023, and is recommending that the Board of Education approve the first reading of the committee's proposed changes. The recommended changes align with the current practices of the Board of Education.
Thank you, Mrs. Ram. Is there a motion?
Madam President, I move to approve the first reading of proposed changes to policy BDDG entitled Board Minutes.
Is there a second?
Second?
Thank you, Mrs. Murray. Any questions, any discussion? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to the vote. We're voting to approve the first reading of proposed changes to policy BDDG entitled Board Minutes. All those in favor? All right, we have a unanimous vote and the student member concurs. Thank you, Mrs. Ram. Dr. Willow, we'll come back to you now for the
right.
second half of the superintendent's report.
Thank you again, President Williams. We're going to start with a reminder to parents and guardians to make sure your children's immunizations are up to date, or you have plans to get them done over the summer break. Students who do not have required age-appropriate immunizations are not able to attend school. This is a state requirement in COMAR. So please have your child's vaccinations up to date. If you're unsure, you can call your family doctor or contact your child's school. I'm excited to share, as of this morning, that we have over 4,000 enrollments in our summer school programs. And I think we're going to start by saying thank you. Summer school programming takes teachers, it takes bus drivers, it takes takes food nutrition service workers, it takes administrators, teachers, all of us working together to be able to meet the needs of over 4,000 students. And again, as I shared earlier, none of that's possible without our incredible staff, but also our parents and our students that are going out of their way to enroll in our summer camps, our high school programming, our tutoring programs. And I also want to recognize what Mr. Prue shared earlier. You know, we have 14 now award-winning community meal sites. So on top of serving the needs of over 4,000 students, we continue to serve the needs of others in the community, and I think that's pretty remarkable. So on behalf of Dr. Savine, we're grateful to our staff. I also want to share that our pre-K enrollment is off to a great start. Our coordinator of early learning, Mrs. Kelly Longerbeam, is getting the word out. I think we have a video, a promotional video that we're going to share here that you might see at Leitersburg Cinemas or some other places on social media. Parents, don't delay. As you're watching this video, we are up 130 more students at this time this year than last year at this time. So what that means for us is we have 877 students that have already completed their pre-K enrollment packets. And now with Mrs. Longerbeam continuing and her team continuing to promote pre-K, I think when this video hits, the numbers will continue to increase. So I'll share this.
Enrolling in pre-K is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Our pre-K programs offer a full day of instruction, which includes learning, play, lunch, recess, and even time to rest. Pre-K classes are in every elementary school and 2 high schools. Your child will work with a certified early childhood teacher and a pre-K paraprofessional. All classrooms have play centers, so students can use their imaginations and learn through play. Students have the opportunity to be an architect and build with blocks, be a scientist and perform an investigation, or be an artist and create a masterpiece. Pre-K ensures a smoother transition into kindergarten. Studies show that students entering school with those early reading and math skills will have more success in later years. In fact, Washington County Public Schools recently ranked 4th in the state for kindergarten readiness. Our pre-K students are having fun and building a foundation of learning for years of success in school. Don't miss out. Apply now to get a seat.
Oh, and not to mention, our county, for our size, we are still top 5 for percentage of 4-year-olds enrolled. So not only are we performing at a high level, but for a county of our size, when you look at all of the available 4-year-olds, we are top 5 in the state with enrollment. And so that's really quite remarkable. Again, a shout out to Mrs. Longerbeam and her team, our principals, our amazing teachers, paraprofessionals, and all of our support staff that make our pre-K program really, in my opinion, truly great. And so with that, that will conclude my report this evening. Thank you, President Williams.
Thank you, Dr. Willow. Okay, we have Mrs. Baker coming forward with our personnel actions for this afternoon. Mrs. Baker.
Good evening again, Mrs. Williams, Dr. Willow, and members of the board. As we discussed earlier during closed session, there are several staff changes for your review. At this time, I ask for your approval of this evening's staff changes.
Thank you, Mrs. Baker. Is there a motion?
President Williams? I move to approve the personnel actions dated Tuesday, July 11th, 2023, as presented in closed session.
Thank you, Mrs. Baker. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Bickford. Any questions? All right, we'll move to the vote. We're voting to approve the personnel actions dated Tuesday, July 11th, as presented and discussed in closed session. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All right, we have 4 affirmative, those opposed, 3 in opposition. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
President Williams, if I may, I'd like to announce some principal changes this evening.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Good evening again. We'll start with Mr. Dan Fowler, who was the principal at Eastern Elementary. He will be taking over the supervisor of school management at CES. That obviously creates an opening at Eastern Elementary, and Jennifer Bosman will be leaving Able and moving into that vacancy as principal at Eastern Elementary. Stacy Baker, who is the current principal at Paramount Elementary, will fill the principal at Able vacancy. And last, Jenny Hammond, who is assistant principal at Salem Avenue Elementary, will now be the principal at Paramount Elementary. And so congratulations to all of those individuals. Thank you to Dr. Webster, and Dr. Palmer, and Dr. Wilcox for their leadership in selecting our principals. We're very excited for these changes, and we believe that we continue to have great principals leading our schools. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Willow. All right, we'll move on to reports to the board. We have board member committee reports, Curriculum and Instruction Committee. Dr. Zetmeyer?
Curriculum and Instruction will meet here August 17th at 2 p.m.
Facilities Committee, Mr. Bedford?
No meeting has been planned yet.
Thank you. Finance, Mr. Evans?
Next meeting will be Monday, August 7th at 9 a.m. or 8. 9 or 8.
Human Resources, Mrs. Murray?
We'll meet September 12th, excuse me, 1:00 p.m. here at the CES.
Thank you. Policy Review and Development Committee, Mr. Bickford?
We are meeting Wednesday, the 19th, 1 o'clock here.
Mr. Bickford. Under miscellaneous business, we have one agenda item, as always, and that is future agenda items. You have a list, and for our August 1st meeting, we are planning to have an update on the Reading Apprenticeship Program. On August 15th, that's our second meeting of the month, we will be looking at the fiscal year 2025 General Fund Operating Budget Calendar. If you have any requests for future agenda item placement, let a member of the committee know so we can take care of that for you. That brings us to board member comments. Dr. Zentmeyer, would you like to begin?
Okay. Economics is haunted by more fallacies than any other known to man. The inherent difficulties in the subject would be great enough in any case, but they're multiplied by 1,000-fold, say, more than math or medicine. The special pleading of self-interest is the problem. And while certain public policies would in the long run benefit everybody, other policies benefit one group at the expense of others. The benefiting group would argue plausibly and persistently. It'll hire the best minds so that their whole time presents the case. And it will finally either convince the public or befuddle them. Secondly, the tendency of men to see only immediate effects of a policy or its effects on a special group and neglect to inquire on the long-term effects of the policy create a fallacy. That of overlooking secondary consequences and makes the whole difference between good economics and bad. The bad economist sees funds only what immediately strikes the eye, direct consequences, and the effect on one group. The good economist looks beyond the longer and indirect consequences of and how it affects all groups. Henry Hazlitt wrote that in 1946, and like Orwell in 1948, it's still true. All this to say that I cannot add new positions and then say, oops, we have to make cuts somewhere to cover this expense. The programs we have are essential, like ABLE. It's a program that will add AP courses to Hancock and Clear Spring, as well as deliver instruction virtually. The uses that we can find for that program are of great magnitude. I'm not willing to add new positions that do not directly affect a student and their achievement in the classroom. An unfunded great idea is not a great idea. And adding teachers, yes. Parapros, if we can find them, yes. Expensive personnel that don't, as my colleague says, are part of the ministry of truth, no. Okay, so this is not my most popular end of meeting comment, but even excellent ideas without additional funding are bad economy. When NP, new position, is on the agenda and listed in personnel requests, my answer is going to be NO, no. I do want to end on a positive note. Thank you, Kelly Longerbeam, for your leadership in pre-K, and to all of the teachers who have elected to stay with us in Washington County. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Back to you, Melissa.
Thank you. Mr. Evans?
So I promise this wasn't planned. I actually wanted to talk about some of our new positions as well. And, you know, we do have great staff, and I am very excited for all the people who have recently got promotions. They're very, very well deserved. However, the duties and responsibilities of some of these positions, I personally cannot get on board with. In many cases, a lot of the positions are added here in CES, which I understand we do have a relatively thin staff when compared to other school systems in the state. However, we have classrooms that are bursting at the seams as well. And I personally think that 90% of our problems would disappear overnight if we could lower our class sizes, or at the very least have more staff directly in front of the students, as Dr. Zentmeyer said, whether it's additional teachers or parapros or both. I know it's not easy to find either one of them these days, but I am also convinced that while we know we can't compete with other school systems like Montgomery or Anne Arundel or Frederick or whatever it may be as far as salary and compensation goes, we certainly can provide a better working environment that would make it more attractive for them to stay rather than go chase the dollars. And that is my concern, is that we're not creating that environment well enough. I do think we have a phenomenal school system to work for. I do think it can also be better. And when we have people leaving to go down the road to get a couple extra bucks, we need to look at what we can control, and what we cannot control is what the county commissioners do. What we can control is what we do with what they give us. And I don't think that we're doing the right thing to keep the staff that we have here.
Thank you. Mr. Evans.
Not doctor, but I'm not fixing any broken bones today.
Gave you an honorary
Yeah,
degree
yeah.
there.
There you go.
Mr. Gessler.
Thank you. I don't have anything more to add, except for I agree with my two colleagues. They said it very elegantly, and I appreciate them taking a lead in that, so I won't duplicate their comments.
Thank you, Mr. Gessler. Mr. Stover.
I'd just like to welcome Graham tonight. And the last board meeting, I didn't say anything about May, but I had spoken to her privately before the meeting and so forth. So just want to make that clear. But welcome, Graham. Hope you enjoy your year. And I had the pleasure of meeting him with Mrs. Williams we had lunch.
Yep.
And he's sharp.
Thank you, Mr. Stover. Mr. Bickford.
I too welcome Graham. Looking forward to hearing some of your ideas and learning more about some of the ideas that you got in your front page newspaper article. So get used to the spotlight. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bickford. Mrs. Murray.
I'd just like to thank Dr. Willow for sitting in for Dr. Savine. He did a great job. And also, welcome Graham. I'll try to get him to be a Cowboy fan, you know. All year long, I'll work on him, so. It's good to have you, Graham.
Graham, thank you, Mr. Murray. Graham, would you like to
Yeah, I
comment?
would just like to thank the board for this amazing opportunity. I'm very excited for the year coming up. I'd also like to mention the Maryland Accelerates program. I was fortunate enough to actually have Miss McCoy as a student teacher this year, and that was I'm really hopeful that I could have helped enrich her experience, and I'm really grateful for that opportunity because I know that it grants a lot of really hopeful, aspiring teachers a really good opportunity. And I'm just very grateful for this opportunity to represent the students of Washington County this year.
My comments this evening are to express my appreciation for Graham's presence for taking on this responsibility to serve your peers in this way. And I'd like to express my appreciation to Dr. Willow for his very capable leadership and sitting in for Dr. Savine this evening. So thank you. Colleagues, thank you for a great afternoon of meetings. And if there's nothing further, Dr. Willow, did you have anything that you wanted to close with?
Just on behalf of Dr. Savine, Graham, welcome. We've had an amazing run of student board members, and I am confident, we are confident as leadership team that you're going to continue that legacy. So thank you and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And we are adjourned. Thank you.